Disclaimer, this video features profane words such as fuck, shit, ass, bitch, and viewer discretion is advised. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I hate 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 you, I fucking hate you, I hate your story, I hate your story, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, fuck you. I've been banging with Invincible. Not enough to read the comics. I'm just not a comic or manga reader. I prefer to watch my entertainment. So consider this from the perspective of someone who has never and never will read the comics. With that said, I'm a fan. But as a fan, this shit is losing me. Season 3 is ass. I just gotta come out and say it. It has its good parts, but there's far more problems than wins, and judging by the critical response, it seems somebody, being me, needs the balls to point out these problems and speak some objective truth about it without being distracted by the hype, as I will do now, after a quick run through of seasons 1 and 2. Season 1 was the shit. I was recommending it to everyone and still do. From the beginning, the show has a tendency to introduce a ton of subplots, and with only 8 episodes, it kind of seemed like each one did something different. However, it all kind of stayed for the most part on the general theme. Someone killed the Guardians, and they're all trying to figure out who, while kind of believing it was Omni-Man, but hoping it wasn't, which is similar to the feelings of the viewer. You know Omni-Man did it, but you want to know why, and hope there was a good reason. This question and theme is addressed sporadically throughout the episodes, while Omni-Man continues to train Mark and be active in the world. But with all that, the story is still mainly focused around Mark's journey as a young superhero, and how his dad's actions tie into it. The script is flipped at the end, as the viewers and characters find out he's actually just an imperialist, alien asshole, and all this time spent is like a couple months out of his lifespan, and it's to take control of the planet for his people. That's the gist of Season 1. Season 2 definitely had some questionable shit, but overall got the themes moving, setting up the continuation of where the hell Omni-Man went and what he's doing, how Mark is handling the aftermath of what happened, and continuing to grow as a hero, and with his powers without the guidance of his father, while also remaining not like his father. It introduces new plots, such as Angstrom Levy, among other things, but while the subplots of the first season seem to be stages for Mark's journey with himself and his dad, this one seems like it will be a bigger ongoing one, which I was right about. Oop, never mind. He fucking killed the shit out of dude at the end. Okay, I guess the point of introducing a universe-hopping villain is just a way to play with the multiverse themes, where Mark turns evil in almost all of them to highlight the potential Mark does have to end up like his dad. Season 2 definitely started the fake death shit. We had Alan get the shit fucked out of him by Viltrumites just to come back with no real explanation on how he became so strong. The Guardians' fake deaths, where even though Rex survived a gunshot to the head, he was the only one to survive, which was pretty badass until... Wait, never mind. They're all still alive. Anyway, the flaws that exist in Season 2 hopefully draw to connections in Season 3, so I won't get hung up on talking about that season, I guess. Nope. No, 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 no. Hell fucking no shit! Season 3. This shit was the most directionless, disconnected, whatever it is. Is the show even Invincible anymore? Or is it Mark and Eve lame-ass generic love story? Let's start with the biggest issue. In the past, it was always obvious that Mark and Eve had a connection and that they had good chemistry. I'm not even riding the Amber Bad train right now, but I see why some people found her annoying, and she kinda was annoying, but not really, but yes really. So when they kept having problems, it was quite evident that he would break up with her and one day try to get with Eve. So you kind of root for him, I guess, but oh my god, this is the most annoying shit. Halfway through the season, they say they're moving too fast and that they need to step back. Yes, this is moving too fast. Why the fuck am I watching like half an episode be wasted on these two trying to make money for an apartment? The bitch can literally create money or shit to sell. Why do they need to go through this nonsense? They have superpowers. Aside from that, the relationship is just annoying the whole time. It's basically just Mark doing stupid, dumb, idiotic shit and then Eve validating him, telling him he did the right thing and had no choice, whether it was to kill someone, to not kill someone, or any other brainless thing. She's just there to absolve him of all responsibility for his dumb, stupid actions. It's bad enough he seldom has consequences for them anyway, but then she's there telling him to not even feel bad about it. She's just constantly like, hey, I know you just committed treason and went crazy beating the hell out of people and broke into the Pentagon and keep threatening the head of Earth security, but you had no other choice. Can I lick your ass now? Which is crazy for someone they just try to play up as perfect, then try to make her have perfect morals, always the victim, trying to be the perfect human, can whoop everyone's ass, but then make her a shit for brains simp for Mark Grayson. The whole season, I felt like every 20 minutes I was seeing them sitting on the roof in what may have been a recycled frame, venting to her about some bullshit, or in the bedroom, venting about some bullshit, or making out. They make out multiple times. I was ready to throw my TV out the window when we were down to the last 10 minutes in the last episode, and more time was going to these two assholes having their 50th makeout session and a second sex scene. They turned out to be an annoying ass couple, and I was like, God, I hope all this lovey-dovey shit is playing up for her to get killed, and oh yeah, baby! Hell yeah! I was like, oh, thank God, my dreams have come true. Oh, what the fuck? So she's so fucking good she can bring herself back from the dead? I screamed. This part was so dumb. Like the show was really pissing me off at this point. I was so angry I started ripping out my dick hairs and eating them. What the fuck is this? So she dies just to come back to life not 5 minutes later and then critically injures Conquest after it was just made clear that she doesn't have shit on him? Dumb, fucking dumb! Now let me use this to segue into one of the next huge glaring issues with this show as a whole now. Nobody dies. When this shit started, season 1, the first episode starts with seemingly main characters getting turned to shit stains on the floors and walls of Guardian HQ. I could make sense of Immortal coming back since he's immortal. Rick was critically injured. It didn't appear he'd ever be more than a potato for the rest of the show, if he was ever even in the show again. And then Omni-Man killing the shit out of civilians was also a big thing, which I'll get back to later. There's been so many fake deaths on this show now, it's completely meaningless. Immortal has died like 3 times. Kate, technically 1 million, but in a serious way, I think 2? Like they had a funeral for this bitch and she wasn't even dead. But then they wanted to act sad when she died again. Then the stretchy alien fuck, I don't remember his name, but once. Rex twice. Donald once or maybe twice. Rick is still alive and is basically in perfectly normal condition, but better, which also was pointless because why is he even back? He could easily be William's summer fuck buddy who was tragically vegetableized, and that would be the end. Why does he have to live on as a main supporting character? And on top of that, with his mind fully intact, he had part of his brain removed. Conquest is still alive after being pulverized, which is not only dumb for the show, but dumb as fucker than fuck for fucking Cecil to keep him. These motherfuckers can destroy planets. What do you think a bunker will do? Angstrom got turned into a grease stain in the desert, but survived and is back and got beaten again and is still around. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mahler twins show back up. Most of it has just become Cecil Tech fix everyone. The way Mark starts screaming for Cecil when Eve died, I'm sure it was supposed to show how desperate he was after shitting on Cecil the whole time, but it really just shows how plot armor Cecil's technology has become that even the characters recognize it now. I wanted so badly to see Oliver get wasted, but he just gets stretched and then Cecil can put him in the super hospital to recover. Everyone just comes to the edge of death, even if they get completely dismembered, but then it's like, oh, they survived, and technology saved them. Stupid as fuck, dumb as fuck, lame as fuck. And some of them I would prefer to see them go. Rex, although an asshole, is one of the only actual good people in this show, and he dies, seemingly permanently. He's the only one that seems to understand people and how emotions work, and is in touch with his own problems while doing a decent job at showing that he tries. Actually, let's use this opportunity to talk about the characters I hate, which is almost all of them. Immortal sucks. Lame ass character, always angry. He's strong and weak at the same time, and he's just annoying and gets to come back over and over. Kate, annoying. Both of them should have stayed dead. Robot or Rudy steals Rex's DNA to make himself a Chad human body to try and pull Monster Girl because not being a repulsive blob of fuck and just being a regular human with a Neuralink isn't good enough, I guess. He wants to be the hot guy and pull the hose as well. So does all of this, then while speaking at the man's funeral, it's like, hey, by the way, I'm going to take his name. I'm Rex now. Call me Rex. Like, no, bitch. You're not Rex. You're barely even Rudy. Most people still call you Robot. Monster Girl's fine. Shrinking Ray's just common superhero, wants to be normal. I don't know. She could have stayed dead too. Now Cecil, he's an asshole, but he has to be. Most of the Guardians are just lame and forgettable. Actually, I could probably just name the characters I don't hate, and that would be quicker. Basically, Super Suit Guy is cool. Debbie is alright for an alcoholic. Titan's daughter, not Titan or his wife, they're assholes. And yeah, I already mentioned Rex. Alan is okay too. He also got fucking pretzeled in space by 2 Viltrumites and then came back with no real explanation. I hate Eve's parents. Like, her dad being an ass is okay, but why are they laying it on so heavy? He's so annoying, I just want to fast forward over all his parts. Electric Douche from Chicago is also annoying. I hate him too. Anyway, now for the worst offenders of them all. Fucking Mark, Eve, Oliver. These are the most horrible main characters ever. Oliver is mostly just annoying. I can't blame him, but he's just annoying and doesn't listen. And I was sad that I didn't get to see him turned into purple dog shit on the sidewalk by Conquest. Eve, I've already listed a lot of reasons why she's annoying. I never thought of her as such a main character before, just a really strong side character. But since it's basically her show now, it's extra marks against her for being such an annoying ass character. A can't do wrong, Mary Sue ass, dick thirsty simp of an annoying bitch like shit fucking fuck I hate her. But most of all, I fucking hate Mark. Oh my god, is the worst freaking main character. I used to sympathize with him in the past, especially after his betrayal. But it's like, dude, you've had plenty of time now to figure this shit out and even develop a real path. The world is moving around him and he's just spinning in circles with his thumb up his ass, battling the same internal shit that he's been battling from the beginning. Am I good? Am I bad for doing that? Should I have did that? Oh no, Mark, of course not. It's not your fault you obliterated those people with your indestructible body by continuing to fight in big cities all over the world instead of in the middle of nowhere, which most of the world is. It's not your fault that those buildings collapsed, killing thousands after you grabbed Conquest and spine-bustered him through them all. You had no choice but to keep the fight within 30 feet of a tied-up woman and her baby. Now let's go make sex again and make out while we decide if we want to once again give up on fighting all the evil we personally attract to this planet because our feelings matter more than the world and we just want to feel normal. Mark is such a piece of shit that he left the world to fend for itself. How are you the strongest person on Earth, and while Earth is getting attacked by like 10 or 20 more yous, you're in the hospital crying at Eve's bedside because she has a broken leg? He even left his mom and brother out there. The same mom he was about to leave by herself to raise his out-of-control super brother that he brought home for her to raise in the first place, all because he wants to be able to fuck Eve more. He's just a lame, corny, dork, incel, dweeb, turd of a geek nerd who got powers and does what any mentally unhealthy, bullied nerd would do with them, which is be selfish as hell, get his dick wet, defy authority, but occasionally save a person so he can feel good about himself. I don't want to hear any of that. This is new for him shit. He's been involved with Cecil and his dad saving the world his whole life. Like he knows how all this shit works, but only cares about himself while pretending to care about others. He's like 21, still trying to figure out shit he was dealing with in high school. There's a reason Mark turns evil in almost every timeline. It's because he is fucking evil. He's an evil piece of shit Viltrumite who's only confused into doing good because he was raised on Earth as a human, and doing good things for humans caters to his own desires. He has no growth or trial as a character anymore. He just does whatever he wants with no consequences, no matter how dumb, and the public doesn't care. He just remains a celebrity with the world, minus one guy who sees through it, but is so dumb and useless it doesn't even matter. He constantly does selfish shit, has little to no sense of duty, delusional, a nasty-ass Viltrumite temper. The douchebag is clearly a danger to the world with his selfishness and his anger problems, yet wants the world to be mad at Cecil for having a failsafe in case he does what he's already been doing, but to a greater extent. And on top of all this, he's just dumb. He's extremely dumb and stupid. How do you go to the Pentagon 1,000,000 times and don't even know what state the nation's capital is in? I should have just named this critique, I hate Mark. But for real, I hate Mark. He's awful. And then having to root for him while following his journey along this shit show of a season is a recipe for disaster. I don't even want to spend time on the common complaints, such as the animation and the voice acting, but it's pretty bad for a lot of it. I'm just going to mention that and move on. Since this is an Invincible Season 3 critique and not just an Invincible the character critique, let me lastly talk about the whole story of this season itself, if you can call it that. Can you? It's extremely episodic. The way I said Mark is turning the wheels and going nowhere while the world progresses, this season does the same thing. Probably because it's following Mark, but he just isn't written well here, so neither is the season. The previous seasons had a lot going on that led to multiple extensions of the same conclusions, but this one just has stuff happening to happen. Like, why is Dr. Seismic back? It's so dumb, even the characters recognize it as dumb. What is the point of this, and why are we doing it? It's like the whole season is just Mark and Eve trying to date, and then a bunch of bullshit about, oh, bad people can be good and get a second chance, which could be a good message if it wasn't beaten in so freaking much that I'm sick of it before halfway through. Mark being an idiot like he always is, making a big shit about reformed criminals getting a second chance to do good, while you already kind of know his dad will be a reformed criminal getting a second chance to do good. And then there's Cecil's backstory about how he was, well, not even a reformed criminal, but rather a hero who shot 2 criminals instead of giving them a second chance. So then he goes to prison and becomes the world's greatest parole officer and guidance counselor, turning the whole prison good, giving them second chances, and then he gets a second chance as well. So now he gives that same chance to other criminals. I get that. Like, the few good points and themes are laid on so heavy that they lose their impact because I'm sick of hearing it. We have this long-ass intro about common criminals not actually being bad, but they're just too stupid to properly cook a burger, so they rob banks instead, but don't hurt kids, so they deserve a second chance, I guess. Before Invincible fists them in the fucking face and blah, blah, blah. I don't fucking care! I get it! Bad people can be reformed. I don't care. And we know or can assume you're going to turn Omni-Man good. There's no tension anymore, no stakes. Between the fact that characters barely die, there's evidently infinite universes, most of which Mark is an evil asshole in, which in that case, why should I even give a shit about this one if this particular universe and life of his doesn't matter any more than the thousands of others? Then here you have Mark making mistake after mistake in the only universe where he's actually sort of kinda good, and the only consequences he ever has is a tiny piss drop of guilt, not for the people, but for himself about it. And after all that, the burden of all the people that he's killed, mainly in the fight with his dad, is invalidated by the fact that they just destroy whole cities and probably kill 10 times as many people in this season's fight. And that's also after a gaggle of Marks already wreaked fucking havoc and killed thousands of people. A part of this show that was pointless and came out of nowhere and seemed like the main ending battle, minus the fact that Mark sat out of half of it to be a crying loser over Eve. But then as soon as that's over, and Engstrom, last season's villain who came to this season for no reason, gets fake KO'd again, just 5 seconds later, Conquest shows up so the show and the viewer can be like, oh yeah, they did say he'd come back. Sorry, I forgot. And then that's the final fight instead. A fight that seemed to be praised by viewers, but I found it hideous. It's nearly a 1-to-1 rehash of the Mark vs. Omni-Man fight. Difference is, Mark vs. Omni-Man fight, while one being better and actually a bit emotionally driven, also had a point to the gore. Omni-Man said, "You gonna be a little bitch? I'ma show you shit you don't want to see," and used Mark as a battering ram to unalive people. That fight ended in Omni-Man beating Mark into a sack of piss on the side of a mountain until he stopped himself out of a mix of emotions that he wasn't particularly familiar with but has kind of picked up on during his time on Earth, such as a mixture of anger, confused sympathy, pity, maybe even the tiniest bit of regret. Whatever it was, he left from not knowing how to feel or what to think of it, and that's the only thing that saved Mark. This fight, it's just brutal for the sake of trying to top the first one. Omni-Man fight knocked down 1 building, Conquest fight has to knock down 3. He's not trying to teach Mark a lesson like Omni-Man was. He's just being an asshole, and the writers were being lazy. If he was trying to teach him a lesson, it was the same lesson, making it pointless as it was 1, already taught, and 2, not even the point or theme of this season. There was no reason for Conquest to just plow Mark through people. He could have just grabbed him and ripped him in half like he tried to do with Oliver. God, I wish he succeeded. And then shit gets blown up because either Mark can't control the fight enough to keep him out of cities, or he's just not smart enough to. So all of his guilt and one of his only few struggles and trials as a character goes out the window because all of it happens again, except this time, not only is he getting thrown into shit, he's also doing the throwing. How many people were in these buildings that he just blasted through for no reason? This fight ends in Mark surviving, not because the reasons of the first season, but simply because Mark isn't supposed to lose. Aside from having no point, it's also made evident from all we've seen that logically, they would have all lost this fight. It's just really bad. I already talked about how much I hated this stupidity, but this is really some of the dumbest cliche garbage I could have hoped this show would never do, and they did it. In the end, I'm no longer excited to see any more of this shit. It's just generic, lame, weak writing, and I wasn't on the edge of my seat at all, and I have no hope that it's going to end half as good as it started. Shallow, lame characters, pointless reuse of other long, obsolete characters for no reason, inconsistent pacing, lack of an overall theme or goal, no real stakes, no real motivations for characters other than their own selfish desires, no growth from characters, no sacrifice, and no point to any of this. The least I can say is that I'm simply disappointed, and where I used to recommend this show to everyone, now I don't even want to recommend the first season that I loved to people because this is what it leads to, and I simply don't want to waste anyone's time. For anyone who does still like it, I'm happy for you, I guess. And I hope for your sake that it gets better. I guess I'll find out when season 4 comes out. Not.